It is exactly a minute after 10 o'clock. Welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight on this 14th day of August 2022. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto, and my colleague Muhammad Mugalu on sign language interpretation will be joining us in a bit. Now let's delve into tonight's news bulletin. President Yoweri Museveni has contributed 30 million Uganda shillings to aid the construction of a classroom block and computer laboratory at RWEICUMU Primary School in Shema District. The school was established in 1965 but currently lacks classroom blocks. Presiding over the fundraising drive, Vice President Jessica Lupo, who represented President Museveni, urged the Ankole residents to champion the education of the girl child.
When the girl child is below 18 years, it is very clear that she has not yet completed the education cycle, which is very important in the socio-economic transformation of our country. So, Lord Bishop, I would like, against that background, to request and persuade the people of Ankole to amend that culture which we saw circulating in social media, which was intending to deny that girl child education. And yet that girl child is the vice president of tomorrow. That girl child is a woman MP of Shema district of tomorrow. That girl child is a MP of Shema North of tomorrow. You can name what that girl child is capable of doing until cows come back home, but only when that girl child has completed school. That we should focus on household income. And he asked all of us to interest ourselves in the parish development model and Emioga, so that when we have fundraisings in future, in case we have already addressed the issues of household income, every member of the fundraising will be coming with something to contribute.
The Vice President has commissioned MABAARE Health Center 3. The facility was put up at a cost of 513 million Uganda shillings and consists of a maternity ward, children, male and female wards, and sanitary facilities, among others. The facility, sitting on 3 acres, serves a population of over 14,774 people from Masheruka Town Council, Buhweju, Mbarara, and Chigalama Sub-County. It is meant to offer services like antenatal care, immunization, HIV/AIDS care, TB service, and family planning services. It also treats patients with diseases like malaria, respiratory tract infections, admissions, and outpatient services.
The Vice President has commissioned Mbarara Health Center 3 that was built with government support of 513 million shillings and consists of a maternity ward, children, male and female wards, and sanitary facilities, among others. The upgrade aims at reducing maternal mortality and bringing a comprehensive package of maternal and laboratory services closer to the people. Several health center 3s have already been upgraded. While commissioning the facility, Vice President Jessica Lupo cautioned and advised health professionals to treat members of the public with the necessary courtesy and professionalism and to offer good quality services. According to Shema District Health Officer Edrida Kebaraza, the health center has been upgraded to Health Center 3, and according to statistics, the health center handles over 800 patients monthly.
KAKUMIRO district leaders have expressed concern over the trends of communities abandoning community development work, which has led to worsening conditions of roads. While meeting the Prime Minister at her residence in KAKUMIRO district, leaders confirmed that LC1 chairpersons have given up on Bulungi Bwansi in fear of being voted out of office.
The Prime Minister Robin Anabanja has said government is investing a lot of money in roads, but the local leaders have failed to maintain them.
Toka yange ne willoda yange okujjako kuŋŋaanya abantu okusaasaanya abataka mu bagambe balime bulungi bwansi enguudo zisobole okulwawo okufa.
The Speaker, KAKUMIRO District Council, Joseph Ajuna, says they will remind the councillors of the obligation to mobilize for community development as enshrined in the Local Government Act.
And although it is in the Local Government Act Cap 243 that if you are a representative of a sub-county, you are supposed to mobilize what we call community work. And such role, most of the leaders tend to neglect it. So I want to through this engagement, people have been now reminded how they can do their role, especially Burungi Bwansi. Take an example. If the district has worked on a road and that road becomes now community road, so people should be reminded about how they should do Burungi Bwansi.
The leaders also expressed concern over some people who are titling their bibanja in broad daylight.
Abashuma b'amataka abari kwija omutahuni council bakatera amataka ebyapa ebibanja by'abantu bakabitama ebyapa kandi tari kubimanya n'akakiiko akegumburura katine kikari kumanya tucyaza kureba twaza kucebeza ngo tukaronde eshapa tukashanga biye byapa kandi by'abantu abo tutari kumanya.
The Prime Minister assured the leaders that government will not allow people to be evicted anyhow from their bibanja.
Land titles mu Kakumiro ne Kibale ne Kagadi okusinzira ku Mukama report empya land titles eziri ku ttaka ly'abantu abantu be balina okufuna omukisa ogusooka.
Yes.
Tuli fenna.
Yeah.
And therefore bana babalima mu bakola ebyapa ku ttaka lya wano babbi.
The leaders hailed President Yoweri Museveni for his good leadership that has seen their areas develop. The Prime Minister, who also doubles as the woman MP, KAKUMIRO, met leaders who included LC3 chairpersons, NRM sub-county chairpersons and district councillors to devise means of improving service delivery.
Residents of Katwe Kabatoro Town Council have re-echoed their demand for a separate district from Kasese. The residents, mainly Nanbakonzo, claim that they're being marginalized by Kasese district. The residents also want their land that they claim was taken by the Queen Elizabeth National Park to be given back. They made the remarks as NRM National Vice Chairman Western Dr. Chris Baryomunsi campaigned for the NRM flag bearer in Busongora South parliamentary by-election.
Katwe Kabatoro is one of the town councils in Busongora South constituency in Kasese district. It is located between Salt Mining Lake, Katwe, and Lake Edward, all in Queen Elizabeth National Game Park. The residents, mainly the Nanbakonjo, claim that they are being marginalized by the Kasese district and want a separate district from Kasese to be named the Katwe district.
When it comes to our lowlands, we find ourselves that we are left out. So, as a sub-county, we also demand that at least we get our own district, such that the service delivery can be near the people.
The residents also want their land that they claim was taken by Queen Elizabeth National Game Park to be given back for them to develop.
Like two constituencies in lowland areas, we need a district in lowland areas. But before all these, the land issues, the boundaries should get what? Should first be the first priority. Because you cannot give people district when they don't have land for expansion to do their economic activities.
The national park, it has encroached the community land, whereby an institute, Katu Secondary School, part of the land was taken, the basic primary school, part of the land was taken, and the Rocco found in Kakoni village, Top Hill Parish. All those areas are affected by the national park. The park has encroached and entered the community land. And another thing, we face the challenge of crocodiles. Crocodiles have been rampant to the community of Katokapato Town Council, whereby there are now many in the lake.
Katue Kabatoro Town Council is where NRM top officials led by the National Vice Chairperson for Western, Dr. Chris Baryomusi, campaigned for the fair in Busongora South constituency by-election. It started by a Sunday church service where the NRM team attended a service at St. Peter's and Paul Catholic Church, where the candidate received a blessing of success from Father Alfred Masereka. Later, the Yellow Camp took their campaigns to Katue Primary School, where the NRM National Vice Chairperson for Western, Dr. Chris Baryomusi, assured the people of government's efforts to resolve their demand for a district and the conflicts with the wildlife.
There has been that request, particularly from the people of Busongora South, especially those in the lower lands who call themselves the minority groups. And at some point, the KASESE District Council passed a resolution amidst controversy, but they passed a resolution to subdivide the KASESE district. What remains is the disagreement or the argument around the boundaries of these districts. So the proposal is before government, and we shall study it, and eventually we shall have it resolved.
He urged them to vote for the NRM candidate Gideon Mujungu for development.
The message I give the people of Busongora South, that they have to make a choice. Do they want to vote an MP who will be close to government, and therefore it will be easy for him to lobby for services for the people, or they want to vote an MP who will just go to Kampala to oppose President Museveni, to oppose government, to abuse and insult the government?
With only days remaining for the campaigns, the NRM Director Communications Emmanuel Dombo says the ground is leveled for a victory for his party.
We are remaining with only 2 days. That is tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday when we do the rest rallies. But when you go by the assessment, the population, they have discovered that all along they have been exploited by people in the opposition. And this by-election makes it even easier because the president is NRM.
Philip Aguta and Moses Mutabali for UBC News in KASESE.
Now still with Busongora South, as campaigns continue in KASESE district, a cross-section of members from the opposition, majorly the National Unity Platform and FDC, have crossed to the National Resistance Movement. The members handed over their cards to the State Minister for ICT, Godfrey Kabyanga, while campaigning for the NRM candidate Gideon Mujungu.
Mujungu juu, tembo Gideon ni mujungu juu, tembo chiro chakam, ebiru 18, mwende mutimbio mwabandu,
neribwa ngundru siri kuri tumwe wo, njandra mu wundu, wenye na nyini, aya ikade siri okwesi, ye.
It means the NRM is harvesting more votes. So as we get more people crossing to NRM, that means our vote is increasing, because election is a quantitative function. Numbers. So now that we are getting the numbers, our numbers are increasing, the assurance of winning is also increasing. And I'm happy that now people can listen to the message and decide on their own. Because you can see we are just meeting people and they just voluntarily come and say, these are the cards. We are getting more numbers. So what we need now is translating all that into real votes. That's also very, 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 very important. Yeah. So, but I'm now very optimistic, very, very optimistic that we are going to win this vote. Today I have received a total of 63 votes, 63 cards. Yeah, but it's a mixture. I haven't separated those of FDC and NUP, but NUP is the biggest number. And you know, those NUP fellas cross from FDC to NUP. When Honorable Mbaju crossed to NUP, they crossed with him. but now they are coming to NRM. So me, I think I'm happy. I'm really happy.
Now, as we cross on to our neighbors in Kenya, as millions of Kenyans are eagerly waiting for the final results of the presidential race. Currently, the electoral body, IEBC, is continuing with the tallying process, with the final results expected to be announced later today or tomorrow, the 15th of August 2022.
Kenyans braved long lines to cast their votes on the 9th of August 2022. The voters were anxious and optimistic that the tallying process will be fast and efficient, like the way the elections were conducted by the electoral body.
The results, as they are streaming in provisionally, they actually reflect what we did here on the ground. And we're very much happy because we cannot fathom missing anything in this election. What we have is a straight win.
This is the 5th time he's contested for that seat, and he has contested for the last 4 elections, having lost only 1 election.
He carries the hope of the hustlers, the people who are downtrodden, the people whose parents apparently are not known, are not powerful.
Our expectation, we are 100%, or let's say 98%, that William Samoei Ruto will win this election.
But 6 days down the road, the tallying process is still on, with the IEBC deadline of declaring the final results fast approaching. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has until midnight of the 15th of August 2022 to have declared their final results.
I want to announce to the nation that the performance of Kenya is a sin of crime. Yes!
Scenes like these at the nerve center of the elections, the Bomas of Kenya, paints a gloomy picture of Kenya's 2022 general election. Anxiety is at fever pitch, attributed to the neck-to-neck contest between the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and William Ruto, the current Deputy President.
We have 2 coordinators of IEBC managing the floor each time. And if there are any issues being raised by any agent or any chief agent, the coordinators will be the first point of contact, and the coordinators will escalate to the commission if need be. The commission is fully aware that we have 7 days to declare the presidential results, and we are committed to ensure that we comply with the Constitution and the applicable laws.
The slowness in the tallying process and the release of the final results is blamed for interrupting economic activities, with many shops on the streets of Eldoret, Kisumu City and Nairobi City visibly closed. They are not operating fully due to lack of customers and fear of what might happen when the winner is announced in the coming hours. Dennis Igoa and Juman Samba for UBC News in Western Kenya.
Thank you, Dennis and Juma, for giving us these updates in our neighboring Kenya. And of course, we do wish the people of Kenya the very best in this year's presidential elections. Now, UBC News tonight continues. The Bishop of KABALE Catholic Diocese, the Right Reverend Kalis Rubaramira, has asked newly ordained priests and deacons to live up to the expectations of their calling to serve the Lord. Now, this was after the bishop ordained 8 priests and 14 deacons drawn from different parishes within KABALE Diocese, which took place at Rushoroza Cathedral in KABALE Municipality. The bishop observed that becoming a priest is a calling from the Almighty God, aimed at having followers to nourish the people with spiritual upbringing and serving humanity.
KABALE Catholic Diocese has ordained 8 priests and 14 deacons during a ceremony officiated by the area ordinary, the Right Reverend Kalis Rubaramira, at Rushoroza Cathedral grounds, KABALE Municipality. Luvalamira was assisted by the clergy to ordain the priests and deacons and advised parents to continue guiding the priests so that their calling to serve the church is sustained.
Kiliziya na mtima ulikwera kando n'abaheza bawo baheze kurije koko kunda twena waza twaza kushabo twebe mbere nahandi turazemo ujimulike namani gawe shigira kabikona ko mutima na ko mubiri tugaruko mu kabuhoro kandi turikukora abaherezo mugisha abari kwerezo mu government bari kwerezo mu makagite dukoro byone niwe turimo kamajezo mugisha kwezi twena kokukunda na bizo mugisha kwara kumshoruzo wabyo na pati mwana mtimo likwera mwera kubashimweho kubalinde kuhanga magara marunji kandi ubawusinde bwa Kristo hati debiro byona webale
The State Minister of Finance, General Duties Henry Musasizi, appealed to Christians in the diocese to put fighting poverty on top of their agenda.
As they teach Christianity, they should also add a message that helps people come out of poverty. The government has come up with an intervention through parish development model, and I would like to appeal to all religious leaders to embrace it, and also as they spread the gospel of Christ, they also put a message encouraging people to fight poverty.
State Minister for Industry David Bahati congratulated all deacons and priests ordained for choosing to serve God and humanity, describing it as sacrifice, thus urging the Christians to continue in supporting them.
Church, based on a strong, sound financial base, is a church that will be impactful in our community. On behalf of the entire team, that comprised 14 deacons and 8 priests, we thank you, dear people of God, for being with us on this day.
Bahati commended Right Reverend Calist Luvalamira Bishop KABALE Diocese for being a committed religious leader in building a strong foundation for the church in development and forging unity in the diocese and the community.
Now, in the late 90s, after 30 years plus into post-independent Uganda, the President of the Republic of Uganda opened the biggest multi-sports facility in Uganda, which had been constructed by the Chinese government. Now, in today's episode of Commander-in-Chief, we relay to you what transpired 2 decades plus ago at Nambole, when the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, officially commissioned Mandela National Stadium.
Welcome to Commander-in-Chief Files, and in this episode of CNC Files, we bring you what the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Lieutenant General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, said when he officially opened up Mandela National Stadium at Nambole in 1999.
It was on 18th October 1962 that the government of Uganda and that of the People's Republic of China opened diplomatic relations. In 1963, an economic agreement was signed between the two governments. under which the government of the People's Republic of China offered an interest-free loan, then equivalent to pounds 5.4 million to Uganda to establish the following facilities: a rice scheme in Kibimba, a rice scheme in Doho, a nice plant in Kampala, a biogas plant in eastern Uganda, and supply of medical equipment. China thus clearly identified itself as one country committed to more than simply establishing diplomatic relations with Uganda, but also towards the realization of concrete and mutually beneficial cooperation. It should be noted that while the idea to construct a national stadium was conceived by the two countries way back in 1965, it was only in 1986, when NRM came to power, that the matter was revived. This, to a large extent, explains the kind of leadership Uganda has had in the past. I am grateful to the government of China for extending a soft loan to the government of Uganda, which has made the construction of this stadium possible. We now have a sports complex that will enhance the development and promotion of sports in Uganda. We should optimally utilize all these facilities to harness our sporting talent. I therefore call upon the sports authorities in Uganda not to turn this investment into a white elephant. Let us use the available facilities to polish the abundant sporting talent in the countryside. I thank the constructors of the stadium. I thank the management team of this stadium for the work well done. Although President Mandela will soon step down as President of the Republic of South Africa, to many in this country, he will always be fondly remembered as the founding father of democratic South Africa.
The stadium is located on Nambole Hill in Boyogere Ward, KIIRA Municipality, Wakiso District. The stadium is approximately 10 kilometers by the road east of the central business district of Kampala, Uganda's capital and largest city. Mandela National Stadium is mainly used for soccer matches, although other sports such as athletics are also practiced. The stadium has a seating capacity of 45,202. The stadium is home of Ugandan national football team known as the Uganda Cranes. The stadium was built with a grant of $36 million from the People's Republic of China. Originally, it was called Nambole Stadium, getting its name from the hill of which it was built. It is now officially called Mandela National Stadium, named after the former South African President Nelson Mandela.
All right, now this happened about 23 years ago, and of course in the break I will pose this question to my colleague Muhammad Mugalu, where he was 23 years ago when the president opened Nambole Stadium. Now UBC News Tonight does continue with residents of Namaliga village situated in Kawolo Division, Buikwe District, and other neighboring villages celebrated the donation of a safe and clean water well by Overseas China-Uganda Foundation in partnership with Hongmen Group. Overseas China-Uganda Foundation, through its Water for Life project, made the donation aimed at extending safe water to Ugandan housesteads.
There was excitement in Namaliga village, Buikwe district, as the residents welcomed the water source constructed by the Overseas China-Uganda Foundation through its Water for Life project. Beneficiaries of the water source lauded the donors for the initiative and commended Museveni for the good working relationship between China and Uganda.
I feel good because of that well. It protects us against diseases.
Babadde basanga amazzi gano nga gonoonese ngate balinnya muli ne basena.
Oluzi lutubadde bubi nnyo.
Kwebaza mukulu pulezidenti okolagana obulungi ne China. Nti enkolagana eyo ejja tuwa bingi mu maaso.
Leaders also appreciated the donation and called upon capable Ugandans to always support their communities.
Babadde tunywa amazzi nga si malungi nga abatuuze bange banywa amazzi nga si matuufu era nga amazzi oluzi luno nga lwetaaga okukola.
Kyetaagisa abatuuze b'Abannayuganda oba community naffe emirimu gino kitandika ogyekwatiramu nga tukola obwannakyewa kubanga tusobola okukola contribution yonna naye bange esobola naffe okutukolera ekintu nga kino.
The chairperson also fond of Overseas China Uganda Foundation, Zong Xuan, urged the residents to make a good use of it. Zong, who was accompanied by his children, cautioned them to borrow a leaf from his generosity and also help communities.
To promote our new generation, young generation, they come and supporting us. So I hope that in future they can carry this tradition to help that the needy people in Uganda because they born in Uganda. I hope that they still love Uganda and Africa no matter where they are.
Much needed clean water to the local population here. I hope this broadcast will encourage people to come and support this cause.
To show us as children how the water crisis in Uganda, and us being here will help raise awareness about this problem, and we can encourage other people to come help support this. It has changed my perception about how local Ugandans are living. So now I hope to go back and spread the word with my friends, and they can spread the word even further.
The Chinese community have also started boat cruise training ahead of the Dragon Boat Cruise commemorations in October.
Wait.
Today we are in training for the preparation of 60 years anniversary of China-Uganda bilaterally officially.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but return with business stories.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Hey guys, please let's have a brief meeting. See that? Calls, data, SMS, shareable among 5 people. What? And it includes free Airtel TV. Do you guys know what that means?
Means no worries.
Enjoy life
Worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans, shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay at the end of the month.
They've also added Showmax. Oh.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Cooking with electricity is now affordable. Cook your beans. Avoid smoke.
Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority. With the Fumba tariff, you can now buy up to 70 units of Yaka at a reduced price of 412 Uganda shillings per unit after consuming your first 80 units of the month. For more information, contact the Electricity Regulatory Authority on 0200 506 000.
Forget last season. Forget the oohs and the ahs. Forget every moment that stole the show. Because the real show is here on GoTV. It's the new season. It's action-packed and it's going to be non-stop football. With over 1,000 games from more than 7 leagues and cup competitions plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seat in the house this new football season. Get a GoCoder with 1 month of GoTV value for only 25,000 Uganda shillings and enjoy non-stop football. GoTV Uganda. Love it.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabane. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from the break. Now, I had a short conversation with my colleague Muhammad Mugalu, and he told me that 23 years ago, he was in primary 6. Now, I would have told you where I was 23 years ago, but then you'd start calculating how old I am. Welcome to the business section, into the world of business at a conference of parties. 26 over 100 national governments, cities and automakers signed the Glasgow Declaration on Zero-Emission Cars and Vans to end the sale of internal combustion engines by 2035 in leading markets and in 2040 worldwide. But though the goal to achieve this is in developing countries looks insurmountable due to the tight deadlines and other associated effects, Uganda is rather optimistic in achieving this. We have more.
With the global drive of accelerating the transition to zero-emission vehicles taking shape, Uganda is taking a front row seat. In Jinja District, Busoga sub-region, at the Jinja Industrial Park is where government is building the electric vehicle manufacturing plant. Construction works commenced in 2019 and is now in advanced stages.
Construction works are on schedule to meet the timelines ahead of us, and also the work on the production system is on schedule, and we are confident that in business as usual terms, we should be able to have the plant commissioned in June 2023.
An assembling plant housing different departments, including offices, is already up and running. A testing facility, metalworks workshop, paint shop, chassis line, and test track are already being set up. The construction works are being undertaken by the UPDF through the National Enterprise Corporation.
This is called the QIT, Quality Inspection and Testing Facility. Basically, when the product has been assembled, finally in the other building, the assembly building, with the final trim, it is driven to this place. It will be driven to this place for testing. We have a number of test pits where they will check the chassis or the chassis system. They will check the suspension. They will check the headlamps. Basically, all the roadworthiness tests will be carried in here.
Isaac Musasizi is the Chief Executive Officer at KEIRA Motors Corporation. The task of developing Uganda's domestic automotive industry is one they gladly took on.
We need to look at some of these areas where first we can. And we are not saying we can by just saying we have done it. It's clear. And we must thank our president because he has been insistent. Let's do this. Let's do this. For him, he had a vision when there was very little. Now we see we have vehicles on the road made in Uganda. Now what we need to work on is to multiply that effort so that we can create enterprise value around vehicle manufacturing in the country. Not only for us, but we need to observe that globally, up to 2030, the studies which have been done indicate that the world globally will move from 97 million vehicles produced and sold annually to 109, that is the 97 in 2017, to 109 in 2030.
Musasizi believes that this should be a growth opportunity for the African market and one which Uganda should prepare to tap into.
The Africa continent will move from 1.2 million vehicles sold annually to 10 million in 2017 to 10 million in 2030. When you do the quick math, you see that the growth opportunity for the vehicle market is on the African continent. And as we participate and join the Africa Free Continental Trade Area, we can give Africa premium competitive electric vehicles. We know how to do it. We were the first to do it here. We are in the 11th hour of setting up a plan to do exactly that. We are unstoppable.
Once fully operational, the plant is expected to produce 22 electric buses per day, and this will encompass works of many players in the automotive industry.
Clearly what you see is a very diverse ecosystem, and that's why even globally the mobility industry is known as an industry of industries. In order for you to get a vehicle, there is a steel industry, there is a leather industry, there is a plastic industry, there is a wood industry, there is an electronics industry, textile industry for the interior upholstery. They are all forms of industries. The oil industry, because even if it's an electric vehicle, by the way, you'll still have lubricants which go in. You'll not substitute those ones for anything. And the plastics also that go into the different, either bumpers or the different body panels inside. Today, plastic is one of the components that we use within the vehicle.
Presently, KIIRA Motors commercial buses are already on the road, and Musasizi believes mass production of these vehicles will be a game changer in the transport sector of Uganda. Bank of Uganda projects Uganda's petroleum imports at an average of $958 million per annum. The current global fuel price hikes should be a panacea to adopt zero carbon emission from motor engines through embracing electric cars. Sharon Chomdisha, Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Hey guys, please let's have a brief meeting. See that? Calls, data, SMS, shareable among 5 people. What? And it includes free Airtel TV. Do you guys know what that means?
Means no worry.
Enjoy life worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans, shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay at the end of the month.
They've also added Showmax. Oh.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Vimba! Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Welcome back, and now into the world of sports. NABUMALI Old Student Association and St. Peter's Tororo have embarked on sports activities to raise funds for reviving their alma mater. Now, this has been witnessed during a variety of sports activities organized between the old boys and girls with the aim of making administrative decisions of their schools.
Sports play a bonding role and contribute to achieving sustainable development. This has been embraced by the old students of NABUMALI and St. Peter's Tororo College to revive the glory of their schools.
I believe that in sports you can have a reunion that brings back the effectiveness of old students among the running of our schools. The old students had much neglected our schools and were all deteriorating. But now, when the old students are farm, we can have bigger say in the running of our schools.
Different sports disciplines, including volleyball, football and basketball, among others, were held, and more strategies of bringing more people on board were highlighted.
This event to us as NABUMALI is a very important networking event. As NABUMALians, this is an opportunity for us to come together, arise and rebuild our school. NABUMALians, come, let's work together. This is what can bring back our school, networking with other old students. This is important. Thank you for those who have come. The others who haven't come, please make sure the next time we have an event like this one that you are here. We are grateful to those who have supported us. We are grateful and lucky that we have the bishop here. We also have old students who have made it to this event, and we hope that this is only the beginning for us to rebuild our school.
Wasike Samuel of St. Peter's Emeritus Chair, Tororo, says they plan to grow into a much bigger league and also learn from each other.
This is just the beginning. We hope that we are going to grow it into a much bigger league to socialize. But for St. Peter's College, Tororo, I run the savings scheme. We have set up a SACCO, and we are going through the invention lending process that SACCOs really do. And that should build a good saving culture and a commune culture of all the people. But while we're also looking at it as cohesing others together. The other key thing is the other schools have a chance to learn from each other. At this event, we see what NABUMALI is strong at, they see what we are strong at, and we hope to build together and rebuild those old debate clubs we used to have that are now lacking.
Felix Okuye, the president, St. Peter's College Tororo Association, says the engagement will revive the spirit of togetherness.
This to another level, because we believe through these interactions, it's helping us achieve fitness, good health, networking, socializing, and to keep people upbeat. So we know that as this Tororo College, having had a successful maiden league day, we believe this was now the best time to engage with NABUMALI. And we are doing it good. We are beating NABUMALI and taking them for a run, just like we always used to do it. So
that Kaye, UBC News.
Now it's just 10 minutes to 11 p.m. We want to thank you so much for keeping us company this whole weekend. And we also do wish you the very best of the new week, and more so Kenya as they wait for the presidential election results. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalun Sign Language Interpretation. We wish you a blessed night. Bye.
Ni MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months.